Nasir Ahmad Tahiti, 27, of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, told investigators after his arrest Monday that he had planned his attack to coincide with Election Day next month and that he and a juvenile co-conspirator expected to die as martyrs, according to charging documents. Quote, following the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, more than 77,000 Afghans were given humanitarian parole with little to no vetting and no intent to know their whereabouts.
Well, he wasn't just one of the 77,000. He was one of the 50 that got a
special ride,
special visa to come here. Do you guys get it yet? Do you get it? These people do not have our interests in mind. They intentionally create chaos. They intentionally create division. They will kill you to create problems in this country. They don't give a And the people who say, oh, you mean they knew about these school shooters and they just let them do it? And you think that they really just let them kill kids? Yes. I'm saying there are elements in the leadership that know what's going on and allow these things to happen for political reasons, period. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to motherfucking reality, guys. Today we have Andy and DJ
Cruise the motherfucking internet.
And that's what we're going to do. That is what CTI stands for. It stands for Cruise the Internet. We're going to put topics on the screen. We're going to speculate on what is true and what's not true, and then we're going to probably make fun of these people, and then we're going to talk about how we, the people, have to solve these problems going on in the world. Other times throughout the week, we have shows within the show, all right, different formats. We've got Q&AF. We usually lead the week off with that. That is where you submit the questions and we give you the answers. Now, you could submit your questions a few different ways. The first way is,
guys, you can email these questions into askandy@andyfrisella.com.
Or you go on YouTube in the comment section on the Q&AF episodes, ask your questions in there, and we will include some from there as well. Other times we're going to have real talk. Real talk is just 5 to 20 minutes of me giving you some real talk. And then other times we have what's called 75 hard verses. 75 hard verses is where someone who has completed the 75 hard program comes on the show, talks about how they improved their life, how they were, how they are now, and how they use 75 hard to become the person that you see on the show. If you're unfamiliar with 75 hard, it is the initial phase of the Live Hard program, which is the world's most popular mental transformation program. It is free. You get it at episode 208, the entire program. On the audio feed, it's not on YouTube. We also have a book. You get the book. It's called The Book on Mental Toughness. You can get that book at andyfrisella.com. It includes the entire Live Hard program plus a whole bunch of chapters on mental toughness. It is for the person who needs to know all the ins and outs. That's the kind of person I am. Like I said, you get the program for free, but we can't keep the book in stock. People like it. So check that out. The Book on Mental Toughness at andyfrisella.com. Now, one thing about this show that you're going to notice, we don't run ads on the show. We are the biggest show in the world that doesn't run ads. And the reason we don't run ads is because we talk about real shit on the show, and advertisers usually have a problem with that. So I keep it real with you guys, and I ask you to keep it real with us, okay? And that means we are constantly facing censorship, traffic throttling, shadow bans, and I need your help to grow the show. So I'm going to pass on that ad revenue, keep it real. I'm going to ask you guys to do your part and help us share the show. So if the show makes you think, if it makes you laugh, gives you new perspective, it's something you think needs to be heard, don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
All right. What's up, man?
What's good, gang?
Nothing. You looking like Shug Johnson over there.
Shug Morning, baby.
Yeah, Shug Morning. Yeah. Guys, we have a special guest with us today, Mr. Nate Boyer. What's happening, bro?
How's it going, brother?
Good. It's good to see you.
You too.
Nate is...
He's a good-looking dude. I think we got to start with that, bro.
Yeah, you definitely got to start with that.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean...
I've been looking at his pictures all day.
I bet you have.
I'm like, shit, man.
Yeah, you're going to make it weird right away, huh?
Hey, I might as well get right into it, man.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking dude, man.
Yeah. So, dude, what haven't you done, bro? Like, you do so much stuff. You're
diapers.
Yeah, all right. There you
no
go.
Kids.
Yeah.
No kids. So
all right, we're in the no kid club. I agree with you on that. Tell us a little bit about where you started. Let's just start, when you were young, and we'll get to where you are now.
Yeah.
Just kind of give people a background.
Yeah, so I was born in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, right next to Knoxville. Grew up in the San Francisco Bay. My dad is a racehorse veterinarian. My mom actually got her PhD in environmental science at Berkeley. And Golden Gate Field's a racetrack in the Bay. It recently closed down, really sad deal. But, grew up there, huge 49er fan. We were a dynasty. I wasn't a Niner, but, Montana, Rice,
Bro,
Roger Craig.
I've had Montana and Rice here at First Form.
Have you?
Yeah, I got to meet both of them.
That's
and
badass.
Fred Warner, too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're back.
Yeah.
They just haven't got over the hump, Super Bowl hump.
They're going to put it together.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I keep saying we. They're like, who's this guy? But yeah, and so football was my favorite sport growing up. All my heroes were athletes, When I was little, I played soccer, then I played baseball, then I played basketball, and I just never played football. Part of it was just getting hooked on those other ones young, and I think being a little smaller, I was always a late bloomer. It was like, wow, I don't want to get cut, and I don't want to ride the bench, so I just didn't do it. Get to high school. The high school I ended up graduating from didn't even have a team, and I just never played, and it stuck with me, that regret for years. So fast forward, graduated high school, moved to San Diego, worked on a fishing boat for about a year, and then moved up to Los Angeles with an interest in film and TV and stuff like that. And then 9/11 happened, not right away, but soon after, joined the Army and the military, Special Forces, and I'm in Iraq in 2009, watching the Texas Longhorns make a championship run. Unfortunately, lost to Alabama in the Natty, but made the decision to finally go to college, and leave active duty. Went into the Guard. So I go. The only place I enlisted, the only place I applied was Texas, because I wanted to go. I thought Texas was going to be a cool place to go as a veteran. Austin was an awesome town. And I just was like, well, that's where I'm going. I'm just going to figure it out. So got in, walked on the football team, joined the Texas National Guard. And so then while I was playing ball, every summer I was going back over to Afghanistan and kind of just living this, I don't want to say double life, because I was the same guy, but this high octane, up tempo life of like football, take your finals early, go to Afghanistan, come back for training camp, do it over again. And it was awesome.
That's fucking wild.
That is awesome, dude.
What you guys doing for summer?
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere.
I spent the first summer in Austin, and everybody leaves because it's hot and school's out. And I worked at a bar for a little bit, and I was just like, man, I just miss the fight. I miss the guys. I miss the mission, all that stuff. So when that opportunity came around, I was like, I'm doing this. So it was a good deal. And Mac Brown and Admiral McCraven both were like on board, to make this happen, because Admiral McCraven was the SOCOM commander at the time, and he actually went to Texas. And so they kind of helped orchestrate the situation. So I'd come back in time for football, but I was volunteering. It's like, I didn't have to go over there, but I was like, I would love to. I want to give somebody a break if that's an opportunity.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
so you crazy. So
and it's humid in Austin. I just want to get out of it's a dry heat in Afghanistan. It's not so bad.
So look, first of all, I don't think it's a secret. Everybody here knows that I'm a huge University of Texas Longhorns fan. So you just decide I'm gonna go play for the fucking Longhorns. And then,
well, I'm gonna try to play for the Longhorns, but
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you end up playing past college?
I went to the Seahawks for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, but take that picture down. That's the worst picture.
Bro, what happened to you there?
Have that removed.
What'd you get stung by some bees there, bro?
So bad.
You're on that DJ diet program.
So I had to put on. So I weighed about, seriously, take that down. Everything DJ said he's taking back now. He's like, he's a good looking guy. Oh, no, he's not. Thank you. There's better ones you can find if you got to dig. No, so I don't know if you remember this, but I was a long snapper. When I got to Texas, I walked on as a safety. The only reason I made the team is because I went hard as hell on every drill. I was getting run over, but I just bounce up and let's do it again. And so they're like, it'll be good to have him in the locker room. My sophomore year, I start long snapping because the starter graduated, and I pitched in baseball. I had a decent arm. Figured out how to long snap and won the job. So did that for 3 years. And when, when college ended, I played in college at like 190, 195. And I got to play in the senior all-star game in Charleston, the Medal of Honor Bowl. The Medal of Honor Society actually hosted the game, which was really cool. And there was NFL scouts there, and they were like, you got to put some weight on, but you can snap it. You should give it a go. And I was 34 at the time, but for that position,
that's crazy.
Being a little older, like it's, you can do it. And so I did. I put on 30 pounds, as that picture shows, in like 4 months. And it's all right, take it down. And it was terrible, like terrible weight, but necessary weight. Because, I mean, you're in the NFL, the difference in college, you're a free releaser on punt. So basically you snap it. You don't have to wait till the ball's kicked. You can just go downfield as a gunner. In the NFL, only the gunners can do that. So if you're on the line of scrimmage and you snap it, I had to shuffle and block. And so I'm blocked. My first ever punt snap was against the Broncos, and I look up and see Von Miller across the line. I'm like, this sucks, dude. Luckily, I didn't have to block him.
Who's a fucking specimen.
Monster.
That would have been blocked. That would have been blocked immediately. But yeah, so I had to block, so I had to put the weight on, and but yeah, you sent me a little first form care package back in 2015, and I'm not just saying this. I said this before you even came in the room, but it was the best protein I ever had. So
oh, that's awesome. Man.
It was. I was psyched, man. It was cool. But yeah, it's just getting that opportunity.
That's full circle, bro.
Played in one game, and got just like in college. The equipment manager comes in the locker room before the game, and I'm nervous because it's the NFL, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I noticed in college you led the team out of the tunnel with the American flag for every game. Do you want to do that today?" And I was like, "Yes." Are you kidding me?
That's fucking awesome.
And so I lead the team out of the tunnel, and I get on the sideline. Anthem starts playing. I freaking start bawling.
Yeah.
Thinking about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And then I got cut 3 days later.
Yeah.
As it goes. But I'm so grateful. I was so grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, dude. That's incredible.
It was cool.
Yeah, that's incredible. 34, man.
34. Yeah.
It shows you, dude. Don't quit. You know
dude,
what I mean? That was a big turning point in my life too, where I was about 36.
Okay.
Yeah.
when that at the same time, because you're 2 years older.
Yeah. When I was I was fucking 350 pounds, bro. And like everything changed, like I was about to post this last night, like my picture now versus my picture when I was 36, just to show people, like a lot of these dudes that are 36, they're like, "Oh, I'm old. My life is old." Bro, you haven't even fucking started yet. You know what I'm saying?
So I read somewhere a while ago, like by 2050 in America, if you're a healthy American, like a lot of people will be centurions, a lot of people will make 100. So if you're 36, you're a third of the way there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
come on.
It's crazy what, just moving a little bit and eating some good food will do for you.
Exactly.
Make you young, man.
Exactly. And that's something that's interesting about the veteran and athlete community. I got a charity that I co-founded with Jay Glazer called MVP, Merging Vets and Players. And, we bring together combat vets and former pro athletes and help them find purpose and identity when they lose a uniform. But typically you're in your 20s or 30s and it's over, you get cut or the military. Maybe you can still serve in the military, but you won't be, kicking the door down anymore or whatever. And you're so young, but you feel like you've peaked, and you'll never be great again. And so like that's a really common occurrence in the military. So 36, you're like, "Oh, I'm trash. I'm old, man.
Yeah.
I'm done."
Yeah, dude, it's super. I've spoken to a number of groups about that same thing. It's a common passion for me too, is helping people find purpose after they transition out of the military, specifically in entrepreneurship. I've given a number of talks to a number of groups over the years about that topic. And, to anybody out there, I mean, we're going to get on with the show here in just a second, but I think this is an important message. Anybody out there that's, in their late 30s, especially men, and you're like, "Dude, dude, listen, you got to find a purpose, bro. Like, this is why you feel off."
Just try shit.
Yeah. The reason you feel down, the reason you feel off, the reason you feel depressed has to do with you were a big part of a team and a big part of a purpose and a mission, whether that be athletics or serving or whatever. And you got to find something like that, bro. Yep. Like once you find a bigger purpose and a bigger mission again, you're going to feel at home, dude. Yep. And that's something that, I think all of us need reminders of from time to time, because dude, as human beings in our nature, we're not selfish people. We're actually servants. And that's what brings us, it gets us out of the dark place.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, we're pack animals too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I see a lot of guys in the vet community, a lot of athletes, like they get done, whether it's on their own terms or not. And usually it's not, sadly. And they're like, they want to distance themselves from that thing.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. Sometimes it's like, that it was hard, and it was just like, or I feel awkward kind of still in that community. So they push away and kind of try to do everything alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a weird Letterman's jacket they wear. Like they don't want to wear it at all. Yeah.
Well, bro, isolation, there's a reason that isolation has been used as the worst form of punishment for thousands of years.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, it's not because it's good for you.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people these days like to say, including me, that I like being alone, but I like being alone as long as I'm still around a lot of people.
Or for like a time.
That's right.
There's a time and place. Like every day I like some alone.
That's what I'm saying. And I mean, when I say that, guys, you need to understand I'm around hundreds of people all day long, every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I've struggled with anxiety and dark times in my life, the one thing that always made me forget about it, at least temporarily, was being around other good people.
Yep.
So I think finding that purpose, and I think that's a noble cause, is what I'm trying to get to. I think it's awesome that you're doing that.
Hey, I mean, I need it as much as anybody else.
Bro.
Just like the Bosley hair thing, I'm also a client.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like I need that. I need that group. I need something to fight for.
Yeah.
I need a mission. I need all those things. And vets and athletes uniquely, those careers they end young. There's a lot of sacrifice involved in being elite. Obviously, it's different sacrifice, war, sports, battlefield, ball field, different places, but they look up to each other. There's that mutual respect because you know how hard it is to do what you're doing.
It's full commitment.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Now you also got into some acting and been able to do some of that. Tell us a little bit, because you were actually one of my favorite movies.
I know which one you're going to say.
Which one?
Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves is a fucking great movie.
It's my
Great
favorite
movie.
movie of all time. But you've been in
Is it really?
It really is.
Bro,
Christian,
it's
you
like
got to meet Christian Gudegas, the director. He's awesome.
Is he?
Den
Such
of
a good
Thieves is like the new Heat.
Bro.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, dude, it's such a good movie.
The
all-time
second one,
favorite.
I think, is coming out soon. I know
Oh,
they
really?
shot it already. Oh yeah, there's Den of Thieves 2 coming.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
I'm not
fucking
in it,
love that movie,
unfortunately.
man. It's a great movie. But
yeah.
you've done some act. 12 Strong, another great movie. You've done that. How was that?
12
getting
Strong.
into-
Oh, yeah. 12 Strong.
Yeah.
I was
That's-
thinking of
that's
the
the story
Benghazi
on, like,
movie. That's when they ride on
Oh,
the horseback.
13 hours.
Yeah.
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 That's another
Yeah,
number.
13 hours.
Yeah.
That's another great movie. But tell us a little bit about that, man. How did that? Because I mean, you said I guess coming out of high school, you wanted to kind of get into Hollywood a little bit, and then was that like another full circle thing for you as well?
Yeah, like coming right out of high school, I thought I wanted to be a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously a noble job. I went down, took some firefighting classes. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
So that's why I started working on the boat. And then I started going to the movies and just was like, I think part of it was I didn't like my story. And I didn't, every teenager, person in their early 20s, maybe not every, but a lot of us, you struggle with identity and who you are and like feeling like you're good enough or feeling like you've earned this, whatever it is, especially being American. I think it's a lucky hand to draw. And so I just kind of, I don't know, I was like, maybe I should just tell other people's stories instead. So that was initially what that interest was. And then, military, football, all that. But I get done I get cut at 34 and to finish my master's degree, I did an internship at Film 44, which is Peter Berg's production company. So he did like Lone Survivor, Friday Night Lights, a lot of football, military related stuff. And I'm making coffee, getting lunch, doing all this stuff. And he's just like, I know your story. And we started talking. And so he let me sit in on some pretty important meetings and learn about all the development side because I knew I wanted to eventually make movies. And then had a few opportunities to do some hosting and do some acting after that finished. And eventually MVP, that first one there, that's based on the charity. That's based on the genesis of merging vets and players. So I co-wrote, directed, produced, co-starred, post-production supervisor. I didn't have to pay any of those people to make this movie. So did that movie. And I encourage everybody to see that one above all of them. It's on Paramount Plus, Prime, Apple TV, but
That's awesome.
It tells the story of how we started. It's a Marine living in a homeless shelter and a former NFL player, first year out of the league. Black guy, white guy, nothing in common, right? Society tells you. They're going through the same shit. They're the same guy, you know, and it's cool.
That's fucking awesome.
You ever read the book Brian's Song?
I know. I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
I've never read the book.
So,
bro.
you ever read it?
Mm-mm.
It's an awesome book, bro. It's about Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers.
Okay.
You know who Gale Sayers is? One of the
No,
best running backs ever in NFL.
Okay.
And he's a black guy. Piccolo's a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Piccolo ends up getting cancer. And it's a fucking great story.
Because Piccolo was he a running back as well?
I think
Were
so.
they kind of competing?
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't like each other at first.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they became like super best friends. Great. It's a great book.
No.
I've not seen the movie, but the book is amazing.
The movie's James Caan and Sayers plays himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You should check it out.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Dude, one thing before we get started, I think that's worth noting is, first of all, your story is incredible, dude. You should never feel like it's not enough. That's an incredible. I know, because when you have a story, like you don't think it's shit. Like,
Right.
because people are always
You
like,
know yourself.
yeah, I'm just a fucking regular dude, bro.
I'm an idiot.
People say, yeah.
You have no idea how dumb I am.
Yeah. But dude, I try to tell people that, right? Because I get a lot of stuff about my story as well. And I'm like, dude, all you got to do is just be not afraid to do new shit. And that's you right now. Like, you know, you're talking about special forces, playing football,
NFL,
doing the fishing boat, you know, the movies, the acting. Dude, that's incredible shit. Now you're doing a documentary on D-Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah. So,
But that all comes from not being afraid and just saying, hey, if they do it, I could do it.
well, I'll say this first
Yeah.
real quick, because when you say that, it makes me think of, like, my dad told me after I made it at Texas, he was like, if you would have played growing up, if you would have played high school ball, I don't think you ever would have tried this, because you would have known too much.
Yeah.
Like how hard this is.
Yeah.
But like the fact that I value a little naivety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I think you should, you know, be stupid or just let yourself not be educated, but we psych ourselves out. We
Yeah.
look too much into it. We read too much on it. We're like, and we over prepare in some ways, and it psychs us out, and then we just don't even try. And those, you know, limitations, the number one limitation out there are ones you put on yourself. Like that's it. Like people just don't go for it. They don't put the time in. They don't just try. And then they regret that. It's just like, just fucking go.
It's one of the problems I think we have with the overabundance of information that we have access to now, is that people have gotten so comfortable, like you said, just analyzing and analyzing and analyzing and analyzing and never going.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that no matter what it is, whether it's sports, business, a new career, a new hobby, you're not going to know shit until you go do it, bro.
Exactly.
Like, you aren't going to know anything. Like, you can watch as many YouTube videos about business or
You can
read
have a PhD.
Yeah. And
Until you do it.
Dude, listen, that was a big problem I had with college. I was going into these business classes and I was listening to these guys with PhDs, but no business. And I'm like, and then I go out in the parking lot and I see him drive off in a fucking shit box. And I'm like, what the fuck does this guy know about business? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And dude,
Absolutely.
you guys got to understand, man, when you hear stories like Nate and what he's done, dude, you have that too. Like, you have the ability to go be who it is.
I'm not talented,
Dude.
I just don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to die with
You
regret.
don't, yeah, and
That's
you don't care about fucking looking stupid in the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No,
Dude,
that's
it's a
the biggest
superpower.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a superpower.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, everybody they're so worried about what everyone else is going to say or
Yeah.
think. I get some shitbag yesterday, just texting me hate, and I serve with the guy,
Yeah.
he's an SF guy, and he's got a good heart. He's just not in a good place. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, bro, like this is what will deter people from trying. Because they're worried about this. And it's like, we're both going to die and it's going to that's it. So who cares? But anyway, D-Day, Doc. Yeah. So when I was playing at Texas, the practice fields are named Frank Denius fields. Frank Denius was 4-time Silver Star recipient in like a 6th or 7th month period from D-Day to Battle of the Bulge. And I know your grandfather, was around in similar circles. So Frank, the practice fields are named after him. But when I was playing, he was in his late 80s, early 90s, and he was at every single practice on the sideline.
That's bad.
He's standing there watching. He just loved football. And you go up to him and talk to him. And of course, the most humble person on the planet. Like you have to like dig and dig to get anything out of him. And then he passed away in 2019. And I had gone out to the Iwo Jima reunion in DC, recorded some of these guys' stories, and was going to do something with History Channel, like a podcast series. COVID killed that, right? And so that bothered me, right? And then Frank died. never got to really like get his story out there. And he wrote a book and there's stuff, but getting these guys straight to camera, just telling their story, however they want to tell it one last time was important to me. And then when the 80th anniversary of D-Day rolled around in June, I was like, I'm just going to go. And if I'm getting it on my cell phone, great. But if I'm lucky enough to cobble together a few bucks, I'll bring out a crew. And, we raised a little bit of money. A lot of it I just paid for myself, and we went out there and shot it. And then we came back and got a little more money. And now we've been going around the country. And these guys are 98 to 105. Like some of them have never really told their story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We found this guy. There was one magazine article out there. This guy lives in Santa Barbara, Mexican-American dude, Sal Perez, born in Tennessee, that's me. Born in Arizona. When he was a kid, they moved to Mexico. Mom was not a good person. Dad was gone. So 12 years old, he's homeless, and he's working on the trains, shining shoes, comes up to the States because he was born here. So he was able to come to America and started, picking fruit and working in the fields. Finds out 1939, he's 19 years old. He finds he can join the Army. It's $21 a month. He's like, that's a lot of money. I would love to do that. Joins. Pearl Harbor happens. A year later, they're looking for volunteers to go jump out of airplanes. And no one wants to do that because we just started flying, 20 years ago. Dude. But they're like $50 a month if you're willing to jump out of an airplane.
Imagine how crazy that sounded back then.
It was insane.
Like we got this little box that's gonna go up there.
It's cool.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's still crazy. But think about it then,
dude. No. So he does. He volunteers. He goes to airborne school, and then he jumps in with the 101st. He's one of the Band of Brothers on D-Day, and it's like he's never told this. Nobody knows about this guy. He's 105.
Yeah.
Still lives in the same house he built in Santa Barbara with his bare hands. Speaks mostly Spanish. It's just like wild. But we were able to find this cat, and those kind of stories.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. I was watching your sizzle on the doc, and the one guy goes, I think you asked him, you go, were you scared? He goes, hell yeah, I was scared. He goes, I was 17 years old jumping out of an airplane in the dark.
Exactly. He's like, I jumped out of a plane, but not while someone was shooting at me.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
Yeah. So when's that being released?
We got to finish it. So we got to fundraise a little bit more. We're almost done shooting, and then we're stringing it out, going into post. I really want to get this out super fast because I want these guys to see it before they die. I mean, there's just not many of them left. And one of the guys we were with in Normandy passed, at any day could be their last. So I really want to push to get this thing out. But I would love to at least premiere it by May or June. So June 6th is D-Day anniversary. So that'd be the next one. May 8th is the 80th anniversary of the liberation of France. And then end of May, the last Monday of May is Memorial Day. So that time frame makes the most sense. Yeah. That's so May is the goal. Man. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We'll figure it out.
Well,
if you're interested, hit me up.
Yeah.
If you want to help out, if you're listening.
For sure. Where can they hit you up?
They can hit me up on socials.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give my email address.
No. Give them your socials so they know.
At Nate Boyer 37, pretty much across the board.
Cool.
So, yeah. Slide into those DMs.
Yeah. There you go. Dude, well, look, man, let's get to talking shit.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Man. Let's do it.
I love that, bro. Keep doing the good work, man.
Thank you.
It's badass.
It's what makes me happy, just trying.
Yeah.
That's it.
For sure.
Well, sweet guys, it is CTI, so let's do some cruising. Remember, if you want to see any of these pictures, articles, links, videos, go to andyfrisella.com. You guys can find them linked there. Let's just jump right into our headlines. We got headline number 1. Obviously, got a little update on the hurricane situation down in Florida. So let's dive into this a little bit. Hurricane Milton's devastating aftermath on Florida's coastal cities. Some photos. So Hurricane Milton, a powerful Category 3 storm, impacted the western coast of Florida, with Tampa and nearby coastal towns facing severe winds, flooding, and power outages. Western towns such as St. Petersburg and Sarasota were hit particularly hard, with significant storm surge and damage reported across the region. Hurricane Milton made landfall on the evening of October 9th, 2024. Now, I got some pictures here of some of the aftermath. For those on
Florida?
audio, this is in Florida. This is a picture here, if you're on audio, of a woman standing in what is left of a kitchen, no roof.
That's crazy how the roof is missing and all her stuff is still on the shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she aggregated that after
I
off
don't
the
know.
floor. You see the stadium?
Yeah.
The roof?
Tropicana.
Tropicana Field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Nuts.
It's some wild stuff. Now, Florida is still Florida. All right.
Florida gonna Florida.
Florida is going to fucking Florida. And there's no shortage of Florida man and Florida men running around Florida. I thought this was interesting. There's this guy down in Tampa that they have dubbed Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It's pretty cool. All right. Tampa's Lieutenant Dan emerges unscathed after braving Milton's fury on his sailboat, despite Mayer insisting he went to shelter. So the one-legged sailboat-dwelling Florida man, affectionately nicknamed Lieutenant Dan, is okay after riding out Hurricane Milton's wrath in Tampa Bay, despite the mayor insisting he went to shelter ahead of the powerful storm. The sailor, who went viral for refusing to abandon ship, never left his boat in which he lives as Milton swelled to a Category 5 hurricane before making landfall south of Tampa as a Category 3 storm with 120-mile-per-hour winds. So here's the original video clip that was caught of Lieutenant Dan talking about the storm coming in. Let's check this out.
All right, Dan, the people that are new, explain to them why you're deciding to stick out a Category 5, one of the worst hurricanes in Tampa history, out on a 20-foot sailboat in Tampa Harbor.
My faith in God. I don't put my faith in man. God told me to come out here and get a boat. I came out here and got a boat. And everything that he's been telling me over the last 2 days is I'm doing the right thing. He's got my back. I'm in good shape. I ain't sweating it. We're going to ride this one out. We got set up the way we know what we're doing. And as long as the water just keeps rising, we'll be fine.
Will you be wearing a life jacket?
Hell no.
Are you going to be able to swim if it need be?
In circles.
You swim with one leg or what?
Yeah, I can float like a damn champ. But swimming, I just go in circles.
So the plan's just to stick it out here?
Yeah. I mean, the water's going to come in, it's going to rise. If you're on land, it's going to flood, you're risking drowning. I'm in a boat. The boat goes up with the water. So even if the boat goes up 100 feet in the air, I'm going to be up 100 feet in the air with the water. So it's really, the safest place in the world to be is on my boat. And I got room for one more female.
How many's he got? One more.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Dude, that is Noah. If Noah and AJ McCarron had a baby.
Yeah.
Remember
bro,
AJ McCarron's tats?
That motherfucker is Florida man.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is
Oh,
the
that is
epitome
Florida.
of Florida man. And he didn't leave his boat. He stayed. And the Tampa mayor, Jane Castor, claimed that Tampa police, quote, just saved Lieutenant Dan during a press conference on Wednesday afternoon. Quote, he has been rescued and he is now in a shelter as well. If we can get Lieutenant Dan to go to a shelter, we can get anybody to do that, she told reporters. There's pictures of him being pulled from the boat out in the aftermath, him coming out of it, completely alive and fine. There was some other Florida activities going on during the hurricane as well. One man went back to his house to find a unsuspecting guest there.
Oh, nice.
This headline reads, Florida man
Bro, I
finds
saw this.
alligator in his house during hurricane. Video is terrifying. So a man in Florida got the surprise of a lifetime after Hurricane Helene. The state of Florida got rocked starting Wednesday night by Hurricane Milton, and the destruction is absolutely devastating. Houses are destroyed, roads are wrecked, boats are thrown all over the place. There's immense water damage, and the road to recovery will likely be a long one. The state is also fresh off dealing with Hurricane Helene, and it turns out some animals needed to seek refuge as well during the disaster. So imagine going back to your house after that and checking this out.
Oh, my goodness. Holy shit.
Mouth agape.
That's a big fucking gator.
Dude, that is a big gator.
That's probably at least 12 feet.
I mean, he looks like he just ate a person.
Yeah.
Look how fat his
Looks
belly
fed.
is.
That's
Yeah.
big.
Probably
man.
ate the dog.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. Now, listen, obviously the destruction is terrible. There's a lot of things, wrong and fucked up, obviously. But I thought that was just interesting to see that Florida is still going to be Florida.
Well, you know what I think is cool about Florida, bro? And people like to tease Florida a little bit, but the truth
Rightfully so.
we all admire them. That's the truth. No, we do. You know why? Because they always have each other's backs, bro. They always take care of each other. They don't take it too serious. They all realize, hey, man, we live here. This is part of the deal. They make little jokes about it. They keep it lighthearted. Even when people are in the hardest of hard times, they don't freak out. They handle their business. And, dude, it's admirable. It's really, honestly, it's what America's supposed to be. And I think what's cool is over the last 2 weeks, even though it's been tremendously horrible destruction in many different areas of the country, I think we've seen the American spirit really start to come to the surface where people are, looking out for each other. And that's the real America, dude. That's what this country is. And we see so much negativity and so much divisive shit through the media and social media too. And even we're guilty of it sometimes where we get so demoralized. It's just like, man, fuck everybody. But the truth of the matter is, when the rubber hits the road, this is the greatest place in the world because people take care of each other. It's really amazing to see. And I haven't felt the feeling that I feel right now about people coming together in a very long time.
Unfortunately, it takes this kind of shit.
Right.
Because
you remember how it was after 9/11.
Dude, I was just going to say 9/12 is one of the reasons I joined the military.
Yeah.
Like how much we came together. 9/11 is horrible, obviously. You know what I mean? But the way that we came together, put aside our differences, like everybody just kind of said, this is what needs to happen right now. For people affected, for those not affected. People are scared. But instead of by and large, people just worried about themselves. It's like, let's figure this out as a community.
Yeah.
Let's be there for one another. I remember I was living in Hollywood and there were parades down the street, people dressed up like Uncle Sam. Like, I was like, damn, this is cool.
Taking your tax dollars right there on the spot.
Yeah. No, but it was, but for real, it was just like, damn, they're having there's people parading after this happens. And it was just like, it was a big middle finger to those that did that, but also just like, we're not backing down. Like you didn't just beat us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you brought us together. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think it's cool too that like people are starting to remember what that flag means, because for the last number of years, people have been hesitant to fly that flag, I think, because they felt like it represents our government. Just so we're clear, that flag is our flag. That is the people's flag. That is not the flag of tyrants. That is the flag of unified citizens. All right. So when you fly that flag, remember that we are not supporting the government. We are supporting our brothers and sisters, our neighbors, our family, our friends, the people who have come before us and the people who are going to come after us to make this country great. And that's a very important thing to remember when you fly that flag. We're not supporting tyrants. We're the antithesis of tyranny. And that's why it's important to be proud of that flag and fly that motherfucker every time you get a chance.
It represents everybody.
That's right.
Yeah, people you disagree with.
That's right.
On every level. Like
that's
it still
right.
represents them. And like when we took the oath in the military, it's to defend the Constitution and it's to defend what that flag is supposed to represent. Period. People are like, oh, why'd you do what you do? And I'm like, well, I fought for you too.
Right.
Whether you'd burn that flag in front of me and I still fought for you.
Yeah.
I fought for your right to do that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But like that is freedom. And like, this is what that flag represents like no other place to me. And
I agree.
It's a special thing, man. I remember like in football, I always thought of this being down on the field. What's so cool about sports was it was just a great representation of America because you look up in the stands, super diverse, people from all over the map. You could spill a beer on the guy next to you in the first quarter and y'all are hugging in the fourth quarter. And you might never have a conversation outside of this place. You might have nothing in common, but you're pulling for one thing together.
Yeah.
And like that was very American to me. And I think that, that kind of stuff is just lost these days, and understanding that we're in this together and we should disagree on some shit. That's how we find the best answer.
Yeah.
But we need to like figure it out together and not just like ride each other off. And
I also think it's important to remember, dude, that being a patriot does not mean they've twisted it.
I agree, man.
Yeah, they've twisted it into this thing where it means you're supporting our actions overseas. I don't support the actions of us in all these unnecessary wars, but what I do support as a patriot of this country is what this country could be, not what it is. I am a dreamer and a idealist, probably only in this way. of what this country should be. And that, to me, that means something. You know, when I fly that flag and when I say I'm proud of that flag, I'm proud and I'm dedicated to building and doing my part into what this could be, not what it is now.
Yep.
And I think we need to all take that attitude because, dude, we don't have to accept what they dictate to us. The people have the power, not them. And so when we all get together and we are unified, similar to what's happening in North Carolina and Florida and all those areas right now,
Yep.
There's nobody that can stop that. They can't stop that.
No.
And that's why they work so hard to get us fighting and get us divided and get us at contention along every single line. You know, they want us
that they're fucked.
Yeah. If the minute we fucking come together, bro, they are done.
Well, they love to push this this narrative that conservative values are patriotic and liberal values are open-minded or whatever, and that you're either one or the other.
Yeah.
It's like you can be open-minded, you should be open-minded and at least listen and respect everybody else, and patriotic at the same time, because just like you said, like what it is to me is like we're never going to get there. There is no utopia, but the pursuit of it. That's why it's the pursuit of happiness.
Right.
And it's the pursuit of of being the best, being the greatest country in the world and being the most unified and the strongest, and the safest and all these things. Like we'll never perfect.
actualize our full potential.
Totally.
But we should make a commitment to, as men especially, and women, to lead our country into a better place than where it is now. I feel, and I know you feel this too, or you wouldn't be doing the work that you do. But I feel a tremendous amount of responsibility as a 40-something-year-old man to do my part in that.
Yep.
And I think if we can all get together on that page, man, I think we're going to get this country back on track.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, another point too on this Florida thing, that you mentioned, and like that is unique about Florida. They also don't let nobody fuck with them. They might let some jokes pass, but they definitely defend their own for sure. DeSantis, the governor, did just that. I'm not sure if you guys saw this. He was questioned about, because there's been some ongoing debate, I guess, whether, Kamala Harris and stepping in to help and doing all of this. And he finally shut it all down for once and all in a statement while he was being interviewed. Let's check this. Let's check his response out.
Hey, Governor, could you just help clear something else up that happened earlier this week? And we were actually debating it at this table. So I got to ask. There was some praise that came your way from President Biden and said that you had spoken. Then there was this brouhaha over Vice President Harris apparently reaching out to you and maybe not taking the call, and this whole thing, accusations that this had all become politicized. Can you just speak to what happened there?
I am working with the President of the United States. I'm working with the Director of FEMA. I'm marshaling all my state assets. We've been doing this now nonstop for over 2 weeks between Helene and this. And so if there's anything I can leverage to benefit my people, I'm going to do it. The fact of the matter is they put out a story saying I didn't even know she was trying to reach me, but she has no role in this process. And I've been dealing with these storms in Florida under both Trump and Biden. Neither of them ever politicized it. And in fact, all the storms I've dealt with under this administration, although I've worked well with the president, she has never called in Florida. She has never offered any support. So what she's doing is she's trying to inject herself into this because of her political campaign. So as the governor here who's leading this, I don't have time for those games. I don't care about her campaign. Obviously, I'm not a supporter of hers, but she has no role in this process. And so I'm working with the people I need to be working with. We're leveraging the resources I need to be leveraging. And for her to try to say that my focus should be on catering to her rather than worrying about my own people just shows she doesn't understand what it means to respond to these natural disasters.
So, yeah, he shut that down. Thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I you know what I love about DeSantis? Unfortunately, he doesn't really do well with speeches and, being in front of debates and things like that. I don't think that's his strong suit.
Got some weird boots.
He's a great operator.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great operator.
100%. And so far, like I said, I mean, the damage.
And basically, what he's saying there, if we're going to translate, is fuck Kamala Harris.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
in a very political way.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Now, I mean, again, like, this was supposed to be a really, really bad storm, and it definitely caused some damage. As of right now, time of the recording, there's at least 5 people that have been confirmed dead from the storm. You got over 3 million people without power right now. And here's the interesting thing. I know we covered yesterday in CTI, some storm manipulation, weather manipulation shit. It is so interesting how there's more coming. Apparently, there's another massive tropical storm that is supposed to be approaching Florida here shortly. We also got talks now. This is all over the headlines. These severe solar storms that are coming out. Now, we had a big one back in May of this year that took down a lot of our cellular functions for a decent period of time. People were freaked out a little bit over that. Apparently, we got more coming in. I'm expected to come in throughout today and tomorrow. And apparently, there's already some effects going in. We got some different carriers are down. Spectrum's Wi-Fi and internet's down. Verizon's down. It's just a lot of weird, interesting things happening. I think the perfect opportunity and time. And they're also doing a massive recall as well on 10 million pounds of meat. So, I mean, I don't know if this is scrambling. I don't know how much of it is intentional, but what we do know for sure that we've covered on the show is that these people have no problem taking these opportunities as they come and using them to their benefit. So, what else you guys got on this?
Well, first of all, the networks, man, they're going to politicize anything they can because that's just what they do, and that's what they talk about. And that's frustrating when people are hurting and people are, and they have an opportunity, they get him on there, and then that's the question they really want to ask. Mm-hmm. They don't want to, talk about what do you need, what's the situation on the ground or whatever. It's like, can you respond to this? Which is just trying to get him, probably trying to just catch him. Of
course,
yeah.
The dude was nervous asking the question because I feel like he knew DeSantis.
He didn't ask it very well. He was like, what? Well, so
brouhaha.
Yeah.
Well, I also think these people understand that people are done with their shit. Because every single time one of these stupid interviews comes out, it gets posted and those people get blasted. Mm-hmm. So, look, man, it's what DeSantis said is true. She's trying to pretend like she's the president already and she's, got her big swinging fucking dick or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And she's going to run in and we're going to handle shit. Bro, she doesn't give a fuck. Look what she just did in what they just did in Asheville. And then also, I'd like to point out, it's interesting how she continues to talk about all these changes she's going to make on day one, but yet when she was asked on The View, and she was asked, I think it was not Jimmy Kimmel, the other guy, Colbert.
When she drank the beer.
Yeah, she was on Colbert, and she was on The View, and she said, both of them asked her, what would you change differently if you, I can't think of anything. All right, so which one is it, lady? You can't think of anything to change, or you're going to change all this shit on day one. Which one is it? Because those two things don't go together. And it shows you how deceptive these people are being, because all they're doing is giving you lip service. And I'd like to warn you to make you understand that Kamala Harris is a fucking communist, okay? And you guys say, well, she doesn't talk about it. No shit, they never do. They work their way in through subversion and lies, and then when they get in power, they change everything. And so when you guys see her changing all these politics from, what she supposedly believes to what she now is saying to potentially get her elected, I've adjusted with the times. No, that's inaccurate. They have no problem lying because she knows exactly what she's going to do when she gets in power, which is communist shit. All right. So you guys need to, everything that comes out of their mouth, you have to understand we're dealing with people who are willing to say and do anything to grasp and hold on to power over you. And when we look at the cyber solar flares, those are Soros solar flares. Okay. It's no coincidence that now we have all this shit and chaos. And by the way, I think somebody's been telling you that was going to happen. And it's going to get way worse. There's going to be way more shit. If they have to, they'll shut the power grid down. They're going to do anything they can to make sure that they maintain power because, dude, you have to ask yourself, if you were on the line and your ass was facing accountability for things that you've done, all right, what would you be willing to do to make sure that that doesn't happen to you? And the answer for every single human is anything required. All right. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with dangerous people who are backed into a corner, who are willing to do anything they possibly can to make sure that they maintain control because they've gone too far down the path to come back. So that's how I see the situation. You guys are free to disagree, but you know,
We got to start over, man.
yeah,
We got to burn these two parties down. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's just too much special interest. There's too much money. The amount of campaign financing.
lobbyists,
It's all
special interests.
bullshit.
It is.
It's
It's all
trading.
theft, bro.
Exactly.
It's theft.
It's like, I think democracy is incredible, and we fought for that in the Middle East. Didn't work. It's tough, because I mean, that's what it's all about. It should be about the people. This has nothing to do with the people, though.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
No.
just people in power, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's government, and it's people that have been in politics their whole lives and just super entrenched, ingrained, and
And then they're willing to make everybody else's life harder to leverage power for themselves, bro. We deserve better than that. We the people deserve much better
Can
than
you
that.
imagine like this? I mean, because they didn't do this. This is not that long ago. 9/11, Hurricane Harvey. Like this, these were not the things they were asking. President Bush.
No.
For instance, it
No.
was just like, what do we need to? What's going on here? How
Yeah.
do we fix this problem? How do we come together? How do we blah blah blah?
Yeah.
Like we're trying to do. But then when it gets in with the rise of cable news, and of course they've got their teams. Everybody's on a team, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it's sick, man. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I think total destruction of the parties. I don't know how to do that, but
I think grown men that have the right selfless values in terms of being a patriot of America have to step up and do their civic duty to serve within our system that exists, and then work to make the changes that we need from the inside. Because, and I think we're good. I think we're moving that way. Like Senator Eric Schmidt from Missouri, Attorney General Andrew Bailey. These guys are buddies of mine from Missouri. Josh Hawley, not a friend of mine. I don't know him, but I mean, these guys are patriots, dude. They're not taking money. They're doing good work. And I think we're getting more and more of that. But, dude, it's going to take a massive downsizing of the government, a massive reduction in actual tax revenue, a massive realignment of where that money's spent. And the work that it's going to take to make it right is a lot. And it makes you think, like, dude, I don't know if we can do it without totally starting over, right?
it seriously feels
Yeah,
like that.
I know.
It just does. It just feels it's like too far gone.
Yeah, but you got Vivek in there who's going to be a part of Trump's cabinet if Trump wins, who's saying, hey, we need to reduce the government by 90%, bring taxes. I mean, we had him on the show, bring taxes down to 10%. I mean, that's the kind of reform we need.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. With that being said, let's cruise some comments. This first one comes from at MacMao87. He says, The Adventures of Roid Boy and Round Black. Let me tell you something. Look here, motherfucker. All right.
I think it's Black Round.
I'm the Roid Boy, so.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
So what's that make me? Black Round?
You're a black round actor.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
All right.
cool.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know?
All right. Next comment comes from at Tony
At least
Gambino.
he's listening.
Yeah. No, he's this is a fan. He's making
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
of shit
okay.
we talked about on the show.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a regular, too.
Yeah, he's not talking shit. He's talking our kind of shit.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
My bad, Mac Mal.
Yeah.
This next one comes from at Tony Gambino. He says, Andy, I know a lot of male cheerleaders, us, but how many, though?
I got a black friend. Oh man,
I love
They're
it.
all at A&M.
yeah.
Yep.
You know, they call them yell leaders.
This last one comes from Sid Weighs 510. He says, when the IRS asks you to pay your taxes this year, just tell them that all you got is $750, and that's the best you can do.
I think that's a good
I
move.
think that's a fair point.
Yeah.
I'll try that. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
I'll write you from jail.
Guys, we appreciate you for being real ass fans.
Isn't that some fucked up shit, bro?
That's fucked up.
Hey, tell us how much you owe us, and if you get it wrong, we're gonna put you in jail.
Yeah.
Right?
Fucking sucks.
Yeah. And I don't even want to go into it.
But if you pay us more, then we just got lucky and we'll keep it.
Yeah. We'll refund you a quarter of it.
Yeah. I fucking hate taxes, man.
What is listeria? Whatever that meat thing.
The listeria.
What
So
is
they're
it?
they're
Try
saying
some Bill Gates shit.
some shit that they put in the chickens to make the chicken. Like it's a pretty bad disease if you catch it. They're saying nobody got it so far, but they've had to recall like 10 million pounds of the fucking chicken.
Of chicken.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of chickens.
Yep. Good thing I like steak.
Starting a meat company up, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah. It's going to be called 8 Primal. We're out soon. But it'll be like, it's veteran owned, like meat subscription. But it's all, the meat's from Texas, farm raised, born
You
and
guys
bred
got some
there.
good meats
it's all
down
going to be there. Oh, yeah. It's like an hour and a half from Austin, the family
They
farm
do
we're
got
working
some
with,
good food down in Texas.
Texas
dude.
got some
Oh,
good
it's the
meats.
best.
Yeah, it's
I
good
don't know. It depends on what you like, but
Yeah.
best barbecue. I'll say
It's
that.
pretty good.
I mean, now listen.
Oh, wait. Oh, here we go.
Now, hold on now, Nate.
Missouri's
talking
got some
about-
barbecue.
Look here, Nate. You're in St. Louis.
I think St. Louis has sauce, right?
Yeah.
Ribs.
Kansas City's
it's more
got good
ribs here, though,
barbecue.
right? What is it?
I mean, hey, we got a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got everything.
Come on, fight for it. What do you got?
Well, I'm saying, like,
Tell
I'll
me.
take you around town, man. Like, yeah, we got brisket. I mean, our brisket's pretty good.
I think Kansas City's the place in Missouri for barbecue, though, right?
Really?
Yeah.
That's a rib place for sure, right? Isn't that Kansas City barbecue's like ribs?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crispy
briskets.
ribs.
I just think Texas when I think brisket.
Yeah.
I tell you what, dude, the Mexican food in Texas, like when you go to like the Mexican restaurants,
A Tex-Mex place.
fuck.
Yeah, that shit's pretty good.
That's where you got your watermelon margarita.
Watermelon.
Bro, we were at this Mexican restaurant and this poor waitress comes over. DJ likes to make shit awkward. She comes over and he's like, she's like, "Can I offer you a margarita?" And he goes,
You have
do you have grape?
That's what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah. And then she goes,
Grape smash.
She goes, "No, we don't have grape." He goes, "You got watermelon?" Bro, she didn't even, it went like this.
It flew right
over her head.
That's fine.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
everybody's as racist as you.
Can't help it.
Yeah.
But no, guys, we appreciate you for being real ass fans. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing. Make sure you guys hit that bell notification to stay up to date with the latest headlines and episodes from LAF. With that being said, let's get into our second headline, man. Little Andy Damas action. Gotta
Shocking.
talk about it. I'm not gonna say it's crazy. It's not. I knew it. You knew it. We knew it. Did you guys know this? Let's dive into this. FBI arrests Afghan man who officials say planned election day attack in the United States. Now, we talked about this
Yesterday.
just yesterday, not even 24 hours. 24 hours ago, we talked about this. And, this was about the story of this Afghan man who the FBI arrested. Did you see this, Nate?
I did.
Okay. So, who officials say was inspired by the Islamic State militant organization.
What an inspirational organization, by the way.
Yes.
So inspiring.
So inspiring.
So inspiring. And that this man
I
was
cried.
and that this man was plotting an election day attack targeting large crowds in the United States. The Justice Department said Tuesday. Nasir Ahmad Tahidi, 27, of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, told investigators after his arrest Monday that he had planned his attack to coincide with Election Day next month, and that he and a juvenile co-conspirator expected to die as martyrs, according to charging documents. Now, we talked about yesterday how this man entered the country back in 2021 on September 9th, to be
September
exact.
9th. So like 3 weeks after the Kabul,
Yeah.
what am I trying to say? The Abbey Gate attack, where
Right.
we lost 13 Marines and 170 Afghans.
Right. He entered not under normal circumstances. He was one of 50 people that year to receive a special visa from the State Department to come into this country. Now, in his plans, he liquidated his family's house to afford some of these tools and things that he was going to need for this attack. He bought all of his family members one-way tickets to Afghanistan. Now, the FBI said in a statement yesterday, they said terrorism, quote, "Terrorism is still the FBI's #1 priority, and we will use every resource to protect the American people." That came from FBI Director Christopher Wray. Now, here's the Andy Damas part, okay? Because stuff always happens. Stuff always comes out. And we have covered so many of these type of stories on this show. We know what the common denominators are, right? We talk about them. Whether it was our own three-letter agencies knowing of these people ahead of time and not doing anything during that time period. Now this one was a curveball, because not only did our people know about this guy, he fucking worked for him. This guy worked for the CIA.
Didn't I say that or something like that yesterday?
Something to that effect. He worked for him. Let's dive into this. So that same Afghan migrant, okay, Nasir Tawhidi, who was accused of planning to launch this ISIS-inspired election day terrorist attack, used to work for the CIA. Bombshell.
Used to.
Yeah, right. Used to.
Used to.
There's no such thing as used to work.
Used
for
to.
CIA.
Once you're in, you're fucking in, bro.
And of course, the CIA did not immediately respond for a comment. But yeah, apparently he was a security guard for the CIA.
Yeah, I guess security guard gets a special 50-person visa and a first-class ride in the United States, huh?
But this is wild, man. It's wild. So again, he entered the United States on September 9th, 2021. All right. Now, in a statement from Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, he made this statement about this guy, and he said, quote, "Following the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, more than 77,000 Afghans were given humanitarian parole with little to no vetting and no intent to know their whereabouts," Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson wrote earlier this week when the arrest was announced. Quote, "Nasir Ahmad Tawhidi, the terrorist plotting an election day attack, was one of them." So we have 77,000 other ones.
Well, he wasn't just one of the 77,000. He was one of the 50 that got a
special ride,
a special visa to come here. What does that say to you? What is that? Let's connect the dots here. You got him working for the CIA over there. He gets a special visa here. We got all these school shooters, every single one of them, okay, on the FBI's radar.
Mm-hmm.
The potential Trump assassin, the first one, on the FBI's radar. And now it comes out this dude worked for the CIA. Do you guys get it yet? Do you fucking get it? Okay? These people do not have our interests in mind. They intentionally create chaos. They intentionally create division. They will fucking kill you to create problems in this country. They don't give a fuck. And the people who say, "Oh, you mean they knew about these school shooters and they just let them do it? And you think that they really just let them kill kids?" Yes, that is what they do. And until we come to the realization that that is what is happening, and I'm not saying the entire FBI or the entire CIA or any, I'm saying there are elements in the leadership that know what's going on and allow these things to happen for political reasons, period.
It's the truth, but you go to the CIA's website, and this is what they have, nice big bold letters on the front of their screen. "We are the nation's first line of defense." And I don't buy that, man. I don't at
either.
this point. Now, Nate, I would love your perspective on it. I know we have a bunch of we have a bunch of friends that, special forces, veterans, people that have served, people that worked in the CIA.
Listen, we
I
got
friends over there right now.
Real talk.
Yeah.
We got people in these agencies that fucking tell us this shit straight up.
Straight up.
Okay. They say, hey, there's civil war happening inside these agencies.
Every single home office.
There are patriots, and then there are corrupt people.
Right.
And the patriots are trying to fight the corrupt people inside these agencies. And dude, y'all better just start blowing the whistle. That's what I got to say. You want to be a patriot for real? Come tell the truth and have some balls and do it in public.
Yeah. But to that point, Nate, because I feel like for a lot of veterans, who served, spent time in Afghanistan, I think the Afghanistan withdrawal was a major eye-opening, revelation for a lot of veterans because, for many of them who joined post 9/11, the reasons why they believed they were going to fight, I think at this point, a lot of them have come to terms that were like, fuck, man, we were lied to. We didn't go over there. Those were not the correct intentions of why we were going over there. They lied to us about why we were over there. I think a lot of people have come to that. What's your take on all of that, man?
It's definitely nuanced. I mean, look, first of all, for anybody that did, you did everything you could. You went for the right reasons.
Yes.
Maybe not everybody, but most people. And we need you. And we need you now more than ever to be willing to do that, those kind of people. So I'm not saying, I'll be the first to tell you that we still need the right young men and women to step up, take the oath, and defend this country because there is hope for it. I do think we're going to flip this thing around and get it figured out, right? That being said, there is a lot, the CIA, the military, all these things, they are part of the government where there is special interests and there are these other things at play, and there always have been. And it's getting, I don't think it's growing, and maybe getting worse and worse. So like that sucks and that's scary because at the end of the day, like when you're over there, we fought alongside the special forces. We fought alongside Iraqis and Afghans who are good fucking people and care about their country and wanted to be better and wanted freedom and wanted rights for women and all of these things, right? They wanted to be like this idea of America, which is imperfect as we talked about, but still they wanted that. And that's what a lot of us signed up to do to help defend and preserve and hopefully create in these places. But there is a lot of other hands in this pot, you know what I mean? And it's not fully up to us. And I will say this about the Afghan thing that's really frustrating to me is there are a lot of Afghans who fought for Afghanistan, joined units like the CTI, who, a special operations unit over there that we stood up and we were trying to develop and form, and they're warriors and they're badasses. And they can't even get over here. You know what I mean? It's really hard for a lot of them to get over here. And then there's other people that didn't do that. And I don't know how that works or where that comes from or, it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
When it's like they fought alongside us for years, a lot of interpreters too. And that's the story we hear more, but there's a lot of soldiers, fighters, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That we made promises to as well that has not been fulfilled.
Left behind.
Yeah,
right.
The promise wasn't honored, and that sucks.
It's terrible. Dude.
And when this thing, the way that we, it happened in Iraq too, and that was that sort of the rise of ISIS. When we left, it's like, in my opinion, there's a shit ton of American special operations soldiers, not just soldiers is army, but you know what I'm saying, special operation fighters, warriors, that would love the opportunity to still be in the fight over there. So if we just would have left even a few hundred of these guys, you know what I mean, to still work with the Iraqis and the Afghans and try to continue to build something. It's generational. It's not going to happen quick. I think that would have been the move personally. And I'm not a big isolationist personally. I do think at some level, like we should be involved. We're the most charitable country in the world. Like we're the most diverse country in the world. We are, all of these things. And we have people that are willing to stand up and go fight and die for another country and other people in that country. It's not just defending America, and that's huge. So anyway, it's just sad. It's just sad more than anything that this stuff happens, and that a lot of times the wrong people are allowed in, and the right people, in my opinion, don't have that opportunity and would die for one day here.
Yeah, I don't think that's an accident, bro.
No,
I don't think it is. And I agree with almost everything you said. I'm glad you pointed out, like, this is when I say those things, I'm not talking about our soldiers. I'm not talking about the good people in the FBI. I'm not talking about the good police officers or the good CIA. I talk to those guys. Like, those guys are like, bro, we don't know what to do. The best thing you guys could do is tell the truth. Real talk. Okay. And I know it's scary and I know it's hard and I know it's your career on the line, but at this point in time, I think our country's on the line too. But the one point that I do disagree with is I think there should be a 20-year stay on us sending any money or any people anywhere until we have our country in order. And it's hard for me, especially being from St. Louis, where there's a tremendous amount of hardship and poverty with American citizens. We're the murder capital of the United States. Crime is everywhere. People are suffering here. It's hard for me to, and you have a different perspective because you've been there, right? But it's hard for me, and you see them as, you're a humanitarian. Like, you see them as human and everything. It's just hard for me to get behind us sending anything anywhere when I can drive down the street and see the shit that I see here.
I mean, I agree with that. We need absolutely more focus here.
Yeah.
However, when I think of World War II and I think of like where we're headed right now, like, my argument would be if we stay just here,
bad things can happen.
Bad things can happen. I think they will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a tough one. Like, if Pearl Harbor hadn't happened, I don't know when we would have stepped in, and maybe it would have been too late. Like,
it's a real discussion.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
for
sure. And like you said, it's nuanced.
It's super nuanced,
Yeah.
and it's tough. And like, we're in crazy debt.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of people here that are homeless, that are sick, that are poor, that can't afford groceries. There's like
and they're
lot
taxing
going
us
on.
to death, bro. You have Kamala Harris and Biden saying the rich got to pay their share, bro. They ain't talking about like me rich. They're talking about like me rich. They're not talking about the dudes who are worth $100 billion that headquarter their shit in Ireland so they can escape United States tax code. Okay. The reason that the middle class is taxed so heavy is because the richest people in the world pay almost nothing. But that's not your local entrepreneur. That's these guys you see on TV. Okay. And a lot of them that you see on the Forbes list and all, those guys know how to get around that shit. That's why they're on that list. And if we're going to have a real tax system, we could lower the tax rate for everybody else if everybody paid. Right? If everybody paid 10%, fucking everybody. If you work at cooking French fries, you pay 10%. If you own NVIDIA, you pay 10%. If everybody pays 10%, we're going to have more money than we have now. And not only that, if we then work on where we spend it, we could have the most beautiful, successful, prosperous country in the world if we didn't have these people stealing all our money and working kickbacks and special deals and feeding the, military industrial complex and all this shit. And, it's just, it goes back to what we said. There's just a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned up.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Guys, it's far gone.
Guys, jump in on this conversation. Down in the comments, let us know what you guys think. With that being said, let's get to our third and final headline. Let's talk about some tyrants here. Headline number 3 reads, Imhoff Tim Walz walks away from cafe counter without paying. Someone will be up here to pay. Did you see that shit?
No.
So they order some frou-frou lattes. They just walk the fuck off, man.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And I think on the surface of it, right, I can get it. Things are happening.
My people are going to pay your people.
That's what it is, right? But no, they didn't even fucking acknowledge them. And I can get that, right? These guys have staffers all around them and shit. You know what I'm saying? It could be awkward, pulling out straight money. When we go travel, bro, I don't let you pay. I don't let you pull your wallet out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? But it's more of a security thing. I get that. But on the other end of it, though, we've also seen plenty of videos of Trump in these restaurants and stuff, and he pulls out his shit straight from his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Or at least makes it he doesn't walk away from counters with free shit. That's not how it works. And I think it's just showing this tyrannical mindset these people fucking
It's
have.
an elitist attitude.
That's what it is, man. Let's check it out. So, second gentleman Doug Imhoff and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz walked away from the counter at a cafe without paying, with Walz's daughter revealing that someone will be up to pay. The video footage posted to Twitter showed the two men walking away from the counter after Walz's daughter tells them that she will wait for the tea and informs a worker behind the counter that a campaign staffer is coming to the counter to pay. Let's check this clip out.
I think it's like anything.
Here, you guys go sit. I'll wait for your tea.
All right, you get the tea?
Do you want to take
All right.
this too?
Yep, I got it.
I'll wait for your tea.
So that's Walz's daughter right here.
I feel exposed right now. Thank you so much. And someone will be up here today.
It's okay.
Right? No, well, no, he's coming. Thank you so much.
For someone who's politicking, it's probably not a good look to just walk away from the people serving you and not even acknowledge them or say thank you.
That's what I'm saying. This is just
or
not
say,
a good
hey, nice to meet you. If you're truly in the public eye, you should be treating everybody with respect. That's what I saw. And,
it just don't look good.
Look, dude, they're douchebags. That's what it comes down to. I don't know how to say it any other way.
I wonder what their coffee order was.
Bro, when we go out to eat, do I take an extra time to talk to the wait staff and the bartenders and shit and whoever's talking to us?
All the time.
I love it. It's great.
And they would have got a kick out of it, I'm sure. Even if they're, even if they're not fans, it's
I waited on people to build this shit. I did bar business. You know what I'm saying? I know what that's like. You get zero respect. You get yelled at. You get blamed for everything. the least that we could do as humans, whether you're Tim Walz or Doug Jerkoff or whatever the guy's name is to treat waiters and waitresses with courtesy and respect. Baristas.
Okay.
Dude, I'll be real, man. Like, I have this. I have a huge pet peeve. Like, if I go to dinner with someone and they're rude to a waiter or waitress, I will fucking cut them out of my life. I will not talk to them ever again. Because, like, dude, it tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, unless you can do something for this person, they're going to say, fuck you. And, like, I don't like those people.
Yeah. No, it's a huge telltale sign.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best way to judge somebody else's character. Like, watch them around other people, not you. Especially if you
watch. There's a saying, right? Pay attention to how they treat people that can't do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to that,
yeah.
and you'll know someone's character, bro.
Yeah, that's real shit. But
that speaks volumes. You know, oh, we're gonna sit, bro. You guys couldn't say thank you. You guys could. I mean, look, I know we're being petty here, but I personally think this is a deeper
that's
dig.
what I'm saying.
Like, if you're watching this on surface level, you could be like, oh, guys, you're just being too hard because you don't like them. Well, I don't agree with that, because I believe that is a very clear indicator to someone's character. Is how they. That's a core value of mine.
Character test,
bro. If you don't treat service well, I think you're a piece of shit.
Yep.
You know, well, you say you're a Texas fan.
Yeah.
So imagine you're a Mac Brown fan.
Yeah.
So Mac.
Yeah, I love
the thing
Mac
about
Brown.
him. Mac was unbelievable with everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody's treated the same. And this is the same with you didn't have it up there on the list, but I was in the terminal list too for a couple episodes, right? And Chris Pratt's like that on set. Mac and Chris.
That's why everybody loves Chris.
Because they treat everybody the exact same, and they mean it, or at least they act like they mean it. If they don't, and that's a no.
Nah, bro, you can't fake that.
But sometimes you're just like you're tired.
Yeah,
and you know you don't. You're just like, I want to go home.
Still do it.
Mac would he would remember everybody's mom's name, everybody's brother's name. You know, and yeah, you're recruiting or whatever, but everybody's treated the same. There's walk-ons that never played a down that text him today, that played from 15 years ago, and he gets back to him and he's like, what do you need? How can I help? And one of the reasons I wanted to go to Texas was because I heard a story of him. You know, he went on one of these like USO trips with other coaches, right? And the helicopter was taken off. They were trying to get him. They're like, Coach, we got to go. And there's still a bunch of troops there, and there's no cameras or anything like that. And he's like, I'll get the next one. Like, I'm not leaving until all these guys get to spend a minute with me if that's what they want. Like, look what they're doing over here. But he would do the same thing at a cafe or whatever. You know what I mean? He's just that. It does take
discipline to do that when you're tired as bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is with this though, this seems to just be a very common theme with people over there. And like, I mean, again, whether you want to say it's just throwing shots, whatever you want to say is whatever. But like, they keep doing it. You know, I got this another clip here, man. This is probably the wildest thing I've seen here in a few weeks at least.
Wilder than a fucking 10-foot alligator in someone's living room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, seriously, it actually kind of pisses me off. Did you guys see this?
DJ gets pissed. It's real.
They're about to bring out Suge Afternoon.
Suge Afternoon. We don't want to get to Suge Night.
No, you're almost Suge Night.
People get shot.
I'm right at Suge Afternoon, though.
Yeah, you get to Suge Sunset first, and then it goes to Suge Night.
I'm at Suge 603. Black female Dem CNN strategist tells white male pundit she won't be lectured by some white man. Did you see this shit?
Yeah, I saw it.
I did not. No.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's very
Is there
fucking.
a video?
Yeah, there's a video.
Yeah, let's
Let's dive it into it. So this is a Democratic strategist and CNN pundit, Aisha Mills, responded to a story about former President Donald Trump questioning the gene quality of convicted murderers by comparing the Republican presidential candidate to Adolf Hitler, falsely accusing him of supporting eugenics. After these comments, Mills played the race card when she lost control of her rhetoric and found it hard to counter the arguments of Republican strategist David Urban. Quote, I'm not going to be lectured by some white man who has no idea what he's talking about. So let's check this clip out.
As an
Aisha,
American,
let's talk about Kamala
makes
Harris.
me really concerned.
Let's talk about Kamala Harris and
as
short-term
a black
memory.
lesbian who Donald Trump doesn't believe has genes as good as his. Is he going to attempt to
Really?
exterminate me
Why do you
when he
believe that,
gets
Aisha?
elected?
Why do you
Because
believe
he's
that?
damn near said it. That's why, David. That's why.
Because he's,
okay, and I'm not
has he
going to be
said that?
lectured by some white man who has no idea what he's talking about and is trying to rewrite history here.
Aisha,
I am
shame on you,
afraid,
Aisha.
as an American,
Aaron.
of a Donald Trump presidency, and his actual quotes
Shame
are
on you,
why.
Aisha.
Because I take him seriously, and I think that he believes what he says, and that is why he is a danger and a threat to America.
Aaron, you can't have a
All right, let me
rational
just say,
discussion
I
if somebody doesn't
appreciate
want to
the-
talk
okay.
about topics.
All right, well.
That's disgusting, man.
First of all, how fucking stupid is this woman, okay? What she's referring to is what Donald Trump talked about when he was talking about all the migrants coming across the border, and he said there's some bad genes coming across the border. That is a contextual statement that means the culture of America is being fucked with, okay? He didn't literally mean you have inferior genes to me as a white man.
Right.
This is being twisted in, like always, into some sort of racist shit.
Narrative, man.
And it's total bullshit. And bro, for you to sit there and say, this lady to sit there and say, I'm not going to be lectured by a white man. What if I were to say, I'm not going to be sitting here and lectured by some black dude who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about? You guys would call that like, that's,
yeah, right.
Yeah. And bro, just like that would be a racist statement. That's a racist statement. And we have to get away from this shit, this identity politics, this fucking, black, white, gay, straight, left, right bullshit.
It's stupid, bro. And the thing is, it's like,
dude, I'm just saying, like, no one gives a fuck if you're a lesbian, man.
No
one gives a fuck if you're black either.
No.
You give a fuck. Because it gives you privilege and power to shut people the fuck up.
That's the thing. And that's how you know when they revert to that type of shit, she knows she lost the argument.
Of course.
She knows she lost
When
the
they start calling you names.
That's all they can do is
listen,
revert
man,
to
when people start
bullshit
calling you a
name
name, you've won.
You won.
Yeah.
You won 100%, man.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think she's a fucking idiot.
Yeah?
I think she's a black lesbian idiot.
Yeah, me too.
That's what she identified.
And a racist.
I'm using her words.
Yeah.
I added idiot.
That's some racist stuff. I'm offended.
Well, that's, I mean, like,
I'm not going to be
people talk
lectured by
about,
a
like,
black lesbian.
people talk about, like, oh, that's, people have said, like, that's reverse racism. When
It's just
when a person
racism.
of color, it's just
Yeah.
racism.
Yeah,
there is no reverse racism.
Bro,
There's
if you judge
racism.
someone legitimately, this is a legitimate statement. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your past is. I don't care. In 2024, if you judge someone on the amount of melanin in their skin or where they're from because they look different than
or
you,
their gender,
yeah, you're a fucking piece of shit, okay? Period. Like, that's it. You're a world-class piece of shit.
Low IQ.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I feel, man. I feel like racism is racism. And if it's look, we can't deny that there's a tremendous amount of anti-white narrative in the fucking news cycle, okay? Fucking white men and white women are the only people in the world that can't say I'm proud to be white. If you're Mexican, you could say fucking Latino pride. Mm-hmm. If you're black, you could say black pride. If you're white and you say white pride, motherfucker, you're going on a list. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's be real about the anti-white narrative that's allowed. There's a huge double standard in society. Other people that aren't white can say anything they fucking want about white people. White people, up until recently, can be denied a job based on their skin color. They're the only race that can. All right? That's changed now. But if we're talking about real racism, bro, the country, the only people that are actually legally able to be discriminated against by the law up until they just changed it are white people. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I'm not feeling this shit. All right. And I'm not going to sit here because I don't give a fuck that I'm white. I'm not going to sit here and say white pride. I don't give a fuck about that. I come from the belief that the United States is a place for all people and that we align under a culture that we all agree on. And we might have differences of opinions, but at the end of the day, we're Americans. We're not black Americans. We're not white Americans. We're not Asian Americans. We're fucking Americans, bro. And that's where my belief system comes from. And just like when we had Hawk Newsom on back in 2020, as white guy, I've never been able to say that I'm proud to be white. It's never something that you've never been able to say, hey, I'm proud to be white. And because of that, like, I feel like we don't have our identity based in race. Like, I don't even fucking think about that. Like, I never think, fuck, dude, it's so awesome to be white. Like, I don't think that. I think like there's DJ, and DJ's got a little tan. You know what I'm saying? Like there's Syed,
schlong.
there's Zishan. No, I don't say that. I say he's got a little. He's breaking the stereotype for black people. Smallest dick ever. You know, and you know, dude, we make fun of each other. We have good humor, and like I'm just sick of people like this trying to stoke this racial fire.
I mean, that's why first of all, from a young person perspective, this is why sports are really important.
Absolutely.
You get in a locker room, everybody looks different. They're from different places.
Yeah.
You don't give a shit because you go out there. All you care about is the dude that's willing to like run through a wall next to you. You don't really care about anything else, right? So that's a big one because there's kids aren't playing. They're not outside. They're not on sports. They're on these things.
Yeah,
this is
and
like
they
the
quit
root of all
desegregation programs for so like when I went to school, bro, we had desegregation. So like they purposefully blended the schools with black and white children so that we would learn each other's culture. And then they stopped that here in Missouri. So, you know, if you don't ever, it makes sense why the young people are so sensitive to race because they'll never interact with people from the other race. Whereas like when I grew up, I went to, you know, schools that were half black because that was the programs that we went into. And dude, you know, you learn real quick. There's a culture and then there's your culture and we figure out how to get along and play on the same teams and be buddies. And that's missing in society, man.
Oh, dude. And it's the same in the military. Like your best friends, you know, you'll show up, you'll be the best man in some dude's wedding that's from a completely different part of the country or maybe the world.
Yeah.
You know, different race, religion, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. Yeah. And then, you know, you look at like Hollywood, right? And things swung so far one way, right? Because we're just in this place where we're walking on eggshells, you know, and you can't say anything. Like you said, like it's like the flag is an evil thing, and whatever. And, you know, a white person is like inherently bad or something like that, right? And recently, I've heard, and you're seeing it more where there's this like push to sort of like recorrect because we overcorrected like big time. And I just saw this clip recently of Kamal Nanjiani, I think his name is, the actor, the comedian. You know what I'm talking about? He's in. Do you ever see The Big Sick? He's the main dude in that. He's in the superhero movies too. But anyway, he was up talking because he's like of Middle Eastern heritage or Indian. I can't remember exactly. And he gives this talk at this like award ceremony about how like I want to play bad guys too. I want to play terrorists, too. Like we're, some of us are good, some of us are bad. Some of us are this, some of us are that. And it's not a political thing he's doing. He's just talking real. Yeah. Because it's like we're in this place where, from a film perspective, it's like if you're not gay, you can't play a gay character. Yeah. If you're not of this exact nationality, you can't play this thing. And it's just like, what happened to art and creating and actors and like storytelling and like just figuring it out together? Like it was like we're just siphoning and segregating within these groups and just making it really hard to communicate. Yeah. And really hard to feel like you can just speak your mind and say something. Like
but then you get behind closed doors, bro, and everybody's normal.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how a locker room is. Yeah. You're in the locker room,
until they take the towels off.
Nobody gives a shit. And so I thought that was awesome. I don't know what his politics are. I don't really care.
You like swinging your dick around a locker room?
No. You said,
I thought you said he couldn't.
He can't. That's why guess what I'm getting at here. I'm going to catch him in a lie.
Oh, it swings.
Oh, yeah.
It swings.
Fucking swings in like an inning. Alex thinks she's a lesbian.
Is that his girl?
Yeah.
Or his boy? What is it? It's one of those names.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, dude, you know what though? I think, here's what I like. And this is why like I really want to swing our show into the comedy sector. Because, let's be real, we're funny as fuck. All right. So. But you know what cures racism, bro? Comedy.
I was gonna say more racism.
More racism.
Some of the most popular comics right now, though, are just like they're saying "fuck it."
Yeah,
towing the line.
Bro, kill Tony.
Because they make fun of everybody.
Yeah, fucking everybody. Shane Gillis, like Dave Chappelle's been doing this his whole career.
Exactly,
bro. That is America, man. Like, let's stop this stupid ass shit. We all got funny things about each other. Let's make fun of each other and fucking get on with it. Like,
Exactly.
Well, guys, let us know what you guys think about this third headline down in the comments. With that being said, man, let's get to our final segment.
hey, real question about the Indian. What's that group that's going crazy right now? The rap group from India. Yeah. Are they big in India? Huge. They got some good shit, dude. I really like them. Anyway,
well, it's a big fan base to pull from.
Yeah, 1 billion people.
Literally
Yeah.
1 billion people.
Yeah. What's it called? Humanakan? Hanmukan?
Try it again.
They got that big.
Harukin.
Yeah, they got that. they got that song "Big Stepper." Yeah, that's a good song.
Big Stepper.
Yeah.
That one.
That shit goes hard, bro.
Does it?
It's a little overplayed right now, but when the first time I heard it, I was like, "Fuck, that's."
I don't think I've heard it yet.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you definitely heard it.
Yeah.
Huh.
The video's cool too. The video's cool.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, well, let's get to our final segment of the show, guys.
The white guy telling the black dude about rap.
Yeah. Oh, bro, he
Like,
listens to
let me tell
Mariah
you.
Carey, bro.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't fucking
You
listen
can't
to
wait for
Mariah
Christmas season, dude.
That is a great song.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It gets us all going.
DJ's all about it, dude. He's about that soft, baby making music, man.
All right.
He plays the piano. He's fucking good, too.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong with playing the piano?
Nothing. I'm bragging on you.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Calm down over there, Malcolm X. Fuck. Like,
I'm not about to be lectured.
yeah. I'm not about to be lectured by some white dude.
You do play piano pretty good.
Bro, he
for
plays the
having
piano good. He sings good.
Yeah.
My man's got
I don't know
talent.
how he does it, though. He's got corn dogs for fingers.
What? Dude, you know what? DJ's good at a lot of stuff, bro. Like,
Yep.
he knows
Shooting
a lot about
guns.
motorcycles. You're not good at shooting guns. The fuck out of here.
Well, guess what? We'll find out Saturday.
Yeah, we will. We will.
We will.
Rematch. We're putting that shit on YouTube.
All right.
Next YouTube video is me and DJ having a shooting contest on fucking Saturday.
All right. Done.
What is the bet?
Whatever you want, man.
All right. Well, I'll let you pick it because you're gonna fucking lose.
The Wraith. Put the Wraith on the line.
The Wraith?
Yeah.
For like you get to keep it?
Yeah.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
And he's gonna be going to the gun range tonight. He's gonna.
I don't need no practice, bitch. It's not a perishable skill for me.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Well, let's get to our
What weapon are we shooting?
Whatever I'll let you choose that. Whatever you want.
Okay, we're shooting
You wanna go
B&Ts.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, you know I gotta get my I gotta. Sight
Bro,
my
I'll whoop
shit
your
in.
ass. You're scared now.
You going with? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All
That's
right.
fine. That's fine. I ain't worried.
You're a little worried.
Yeah, he is. I don't fucking miss with that
Well,
motherfucker.
I gotta recite mine in. So I'll sight mine in first, and
I
then,
won't even touch mine.
All right. That's
Yeah.
good. That's
You
good.
could have 2 sights.
Okay.
I'll take none.
No sights. You
I'll
going iron
shoot.
sights.
I'll shoot behind my back.
Y'all heard this.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it. All right. Well, let's get to our final segment of the show, guys. We got thumbs up or dumb as fuck. That's where we bring a headline in. We talk about it to get one of those 2 options. So with that being said, our thumbs up or dumb as fuck headline. You remember the fat cat that we talked about?
Oh yeah. Crumbs.
Mm-hmm. Crumbs.
Crumbs.
Yeah. Apparently he has a buddy. It's a dog named Chunky.
Chunky Crumbs.
Chonky.
That's a good name.
Chonky dog tries to wiggle his way to freedom, but he gets stuck in fence and has to be rescued by a passerby. Too many snackos.
What's his name? DJ?
Chonky. What? Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yep. All right.
You thought I was asking you.
He was having a rough day. A pleasingly plump Staffordshire Bull Terrier tried to wiggle his way to freedom, but wound up stuck in his owner's front gate instead. Stephen Mirando, who goes by at Papa Mirando Willow on TikTok, revealed to his followers that he saw a chubby canine's predicament while driving by, stopping to help the not-so-little terrier. Quote, Pupper was definitely trying to escape, but had a few too many snackos to get his belly between the railings, Morano told Newsweek. The 1 minute and 11-second clip shows the staffy stuck in the middle with an American bulldog sitting next to him for what some could consider emotional support. The pupper was bigger than he thought. Mirando joked about the chunky dog online.
Chonky dog. Sorry.
Chonky dog.
The Australian man couldn't help.
Sounds like a good snack.
What?
Chonky dog.
Like for dogs.
Chonky dog.
Chonky dog.
Chonky dog.
I eat chonky.
Chonky dog snacks.
Yeah.
That's a good name. Somebody do it.
All right.
Yeah.
The Australian man couldn't help but notice the chunky black and white dog stuffed like a sausage between the metal bars. Quote, not believing what I'd just seen, I hit the brakes and backed up, he added. I don't think anyone would have believed me if I didn't get it on camera. Here's a clip.
Just driving past his house and I think that dog's a little bit stuck. Can't push him in and no one's home, so I'm going to go knock on the door.
I love that he's just got his tongue out, though. He's still like, I'm happy.
Oh, look at that guy.
Poor pup.
All right. Can you get one leg?
That poor guy, he really is stuck.
All right, ready? Ready to go. Back in.
Dude, he's stuck.
Ready?
And the bars.
The dog is not helping at all.
He's like, I'm trying to get out.
He's like, I'm actually loving this right now.
There you go.
That's great. A little pressure.
Come on.
Nice.
In you go. In you go. No.
You try to come right back out.
There you go.
How about that beautiful American bulldog next to him? All white.
Racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course you like the white one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mirando noticed half of the hound's body was out the gate while his backside was still behind the fence. Although Mirando rushed over to help the unlucky animal, the pup seemed unbothered by what seemed to be a reoccurring issue, judging by the bent bars. So the Good Samaritan was able to push the dog back behind the gate. However, the precocious pet can be seen instantly making yet another attempt escape. Yeah, so the videos went viral, and the owners end up finding out. They reached back out to the stranger and thanked him for his kindness. So yeah, there we.
I love American bulldogs, bro. They're so badass.
That dude's just happy, bro.
Yeah,
He's so happy.
He's just happy.
I don't think he's even trying to get out, dude. I think he's just like posturing so people.
I think he
come
likes
pet
the
him.
pressure.
Yeah,
He's just like,
yeah,
this feels good.
It's like a hug.
Yeah, it's a big hug. He's got some sensory stuff.
Look at his little gray face.
Yeah, he's chilling, man. He's chilling. What we got on this, guys? This thumb up.
I gotta give a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'd like it.
I gotta give a thumbs up to the guy. Thumbs up to the dog for playing the guy. Chonky dog.
Chonky. I love it, man.
Look at that smile. He's like, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Well, sweet, man. Well, guys, Andy, Nate, that's all I got.
Yeah. Nate, thanks for coming in, bro. This has been great.
Honor.
Yeah. So one more time, what's your socials so people can get in touch with you?
Nate Boyer 37.
Okay.
Yep.
Guys, check him out. He's doing a lot of cool stuff, a lot of good stuff. Make sure you support him, and we'll see you next week. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.